Hi, I'm Norman Seabrook, President of the New York City Correction Officers Benevolent Association. First and foremost, I'd like to wish you and your family a very happy new year and a prosperous new year and a very healthy new year. And may God keep you all safe. You know, it's important as the president of this organization that represents the men and women of this organization and members of the executive board that we continue to keep the record straight. It's unfortunate there are some individuals that want to mislead you and continue to try to mislead you, and that is unacceptable to us. We have a fiduciary responsibility to set the record straight and keep the record straight. There are those that will continuously put out false and misleading information stating that there's a union meeting being held, a special meeting being held, an impeachment being held. There's no impeachment. You, the men and women of the organization, decide who the president is of this organization, who the executive board is of this organization, and elections come up in June of 2012. And you have the opportunity to either keep the present organization in office that you have, or you have the right to choose whomever you want. As you know, this executive board and I have continued to work diligently for you and your families to receive some of the most unprecedented legislation that's ever been done before. We've moved ourselves from the Stone Ages of the Flintstones to the Jetsons. We've moved ourselves from the past to the present to the future. We've done things that have been unprecedented. We've done things in this organization for the men and women of this organization and their families that said could never be done. So when you get information of false misleading flyers saying that there's going to be a special meeting, don't believe the hype. Let me explain this to you again. Don't believe the hype. When you get a notification of a meeting to be held by the executive board, that organization will put out the proper information. It goes out on a teletype throughout the Department of Correction, and our delegates are notified and is placed inside the confines of different facilities so that you know when exactly a meeting is taking place. And at the meeting, you have the right to discuss whatever it is that you want to discuss. Let's look back for a second there. When there were individuals that were part of the executive board, everything was great. Everything was going fine until they then did something that they shouldn't have done and then have to pay the consequences for it. Now it becomes a problem. There wasn't a problem before. There wasn't a problem when everything was peaches and cream, but now it's a problem. So as president of this organization, I am going to continue to work diligently for you and your family, continue to keep my promise to you that I will provide the best benefits that I possibly can for you, continue to negotiate the best contracts in the city of New York, unlike some other unions who've never negotiated contracts in the city of New York. There is not one thing that any of you could ever say that we have given away that you were supposed to receive or taken away that you were supposed to have. Yeah, there might be some tweaks here or some tweaks there, but at the end of the day, each and every one of you received the best contracts, received the best representation, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Each one of the board members are assigned to different facilities throughout the Department of Correction, and they respond to those facilities, and you have the right to ask them any questions that you want. We also send out periodic literature so that you can read and update yourself. We have the website, the COBANYC.org official website. There are those who would take our website, take our names, take my name to try to mislead you. Don't allow people to mislead you. Don't allow people to pour you false Kool-Aid and have you drink it to make them think that they can do better. You know what? God has blessed me. God has blessed you. God has blessed this board. I will continue to work diligently for you. We will continue to work diligently for you. We will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, representing you and your family. We represent you and your family in some of your darkest hours. We represent you and your family through some of your brightest days. But what we do is we do this because this is what we chose to do, and this is what we do 100%. We don't give it 80%. We don't give it 20%. We give it 100% of what we do. This is the first of many segments that you will see from me. There will also be a Q&A where you have the opportunity to send us an email. We will read your email online, and we will have discussions about it. As you can tell, individuals always have questions. They have questions on the variable supplement. They have questions on the heart bill. They have questions on contracts. They have questions on days off. We work diligently for you and your family. So don't allow people to mislead you and tell you there's a union meeting and there's an impeachment. When it's time for me to go, you will let me know when it's time for me to go. Not 5 people, not 8 people, not former captains, not former correction officers, not those who've been terminated from the Department of Corrections who are now trying to mislead you. So God bless you. God bless your family, and stay tuned because we got more to come.